Isn't this interesting? I'm at the federaltradecommission.gov. It says find out your rights at ftc.gov/credit. I'm going to watch this. So they give you a website that now it's not found. They can't find your page, so you have no rights. Another one of those. Oh, there might be a typo, but if you just click the link, how can there be a typo? So it's interesting. You spend time to file a report on fraud, and I was reporting the UPS because they destroy and steal packages. It says, we can't resolve your individual report, but we use reports to investigate and bring cases against fraud, scams, and bad business practices. Now, had I known that, I would not have made a fraud report, because guess what? More than 3,000 law enforcers see this. So now you've got more than 3,000 law enforcers see your name, number, and your address. Great. That's really nice to know. And you know, I don't see one area where they talk about protecting yourself from your United States Postal Service scams, frauds, or bad business practices, or delivery services like UPS. So here's my situation real quick. In Missouri, and I'm going to cover another video later today, I promise. Missouri down to California, here's San Diego area, Chula Vista. It started, the shipment of a live walnut tree started on September 6th, so there you got 9/6. That's probably my first problem. And it gets shipped from Columbia, Missouri. This is only 165 miles away from Springfield, where Homer Simpson is. Anyhow, they basically damaged it. They damaged it. They got the box, and they basically, I heard lots of different stories, but basically said, UPS said, that the box's corners were damaged, so they ripped open the box and took out the living tree that was there, destroyed it, threw it away, and there was also 1 pound of box of walnuts that they happened to destroy and throw away that as well. Yesterday, which was September 12th, I spent 3 hours on the phone in just one phone call with UPS. Interesting. So they say our drivers rock, as in black rock. Isn't that funny? Rupus nigra. Look at this. They're showing a bridge, and 410-960. So 410. So that could be April 10th, and 96 is man. Oh, sorry, I was wrong about that. It's machine. 96 is machine. Interesting here too. It's black magic and blackmail. Get it? Blackmail. Like they can't deliver it. So speaking of black magic, remember this guy, Michael Aquino? He's a highly decorated, well, he was in the military. He just passed away, I think, in 2020. And he was a Green Beret. He was all kinds of deep in intelligence in the U.S. military. So he has the, here I have these guys up here too. He has the, let's see, Temple of Set. It was called Thelema. And this is one of their symbols, Thelema. That's kind of interesting. Unicursal hexagram. And here it talks about the book of law and the still of revealing. Remember that word, still. I remember how everyone tells us to trust the science. So I was looking at the word science and just thinking it sounds like seance, science and seance. Seance is kind of like black magic, and Setians is sort of in that same light. I know it's not, but Setians, and that is the Temple of Set. See, they're pretty much right up there with that Baphomet symbol. TOS is abbreviation. It's an occult, like everything is. I don't know why they usually would spell it with a K, I would think. Theology is Setianism, and there's your founder, Michael Aquino, right there, San Francisco, California. So talk about black magic. Now, isn't it interesting? I cannot open these files on my computer. Nothing with this image. So again, it's interesting. I'm online. I'm trying to look at this image and blow it up a little bit so we can look. Like there's like 3 stars. Look at the little twirly thing for the pedophile symbol. You got the world in between this guy's legs. You got what looks like an erection there. You've got women's breasts, but look when I try to enlarge this. So website blocked due to Trojan. Okay, so anyhow, we saw the erectile thing down below. There's the 2 snakes. Now this, look at this. It looks like something Fauci would make. You've got breasts on something that definitely looks like it would be more male-like. You've got the wings, so there's your angel symbolism. And on the arm, salve or solve, it's coagula. And so his hands are going, like basically, this is how I look at it, is as above. And he's pointing down below with the 2 fingers too. So as above, so below. You got the scale, so there's some water elements there. And it's definitely a goat, the Baphomet goat, which isn't it interesting because some of my own family members don't even know what the Baphomet is. So if you don't even know what evil is, how do you fight it? How do you even recognize it? How do you even turn away from it if you don't know what it is? But so there's a symbol of a flame. So speaking of these flames, there's all kinds of food factories being destroyed by fires lately. Updated list of 95. So we're up to past 101. Arcane mysteries, control grid, financial crisis, and food supply. But if you tell anyone that, then you're a conspiracy theorist and you're paranoid. But here, even our own U.S. Department of Agriculture is denying that there are currently no nationwide food shortages in the country. Well, maybe not this month, but with the way they're destroying everything, then maybe it's soon to follow. You think, USDA? So here's USDA. It's USAD, especially when you don't have anything to eat, and USAD, as in D-Day, the beginning of the end. Remember Operation Warp Speed? You know, where you had to take the needlecraft? So here you go. They kicked it off here at 1/11. That's January 11th. A fire destroyed 75,000 square foot processing plant. So look at all these fires, and I'll send you the link so we don't have to go through all this. But look, even Kellogg took one for the team. You know, you got to sacrifice yourself sometimes. 3-alarm fire. This is all on food places. Food, you know, manufacturing places. So few fire crews, fire alarm, some woman, they threw someone under the bus. A fire broke out, West Side food processing plant left with smoke damage. All these are firefighting things, fire. And they're all on food companies and industries. Isn't that interesting? I don't really care about soybeans. Get rid of those guys. So you know how I've showed this little tranny goat before and the words solve, coagula? I wanted to look at something real quick. Here's another image of the same theme here. So you've got him pointing up to the moon. So like as above, so below. Got the black and white theme going, which everyone's pretty familiar with. And the anagram, just one, of looking at that solve coagula. It's vacuole's goal. So isn't this interesting? This is a vacuole. It regulates waste in water. Look at, does that almost look like the virus, the COVID virus? Here's another picture. Look, you've got the chromosomes in there. Got the mitochondria right there. Powerhouse. I mean, basically it's a little machine. And look at that. That could almost be little factories on top there, sending out their waste. And I just think that's weird. That almost looks like it could be a little planet just sitting there. So here's this guy that's describing what a vacuole is, and it's large membrane sacs of storage, and he says they're called vesicles. Both of these membrane sacs are used for storage of materials. So the vacuole is like water and food, and the smaller things called vesicles are used to contain things like neurotransmitters and the chemicals used. I mean, look at, we are like vesicles just sacks of basically energy and food. And they move materials from one location to another in the body. So vacuole's goal could be just storage and movement of materials and food, basically goods like commerce. There's a Sol Ag, like Department of Agriculture vacuole, like a Sun Department of Agricultural vacuole, and a Cage oval Sol. So back to science, or seance, and satians, they're nasties. I also want to look at this word, conspiracy theory. One anagram I saw was a hypnotic sorcery. Another one is sky's corona spirit. So scythe is the correct pronunciation. Scythe's corona spirit. And when I see that word scythe, I think of this, which reminds me of this, which is the Shriners' little, I don't know, logo or mark. That's the Shriners. You got the star, and you got the thing that looks like it could be like a scythe. You've got that moon too that we had when we saw in the Baphomet. And Scythe also was a tyrant or ruler of Zancle in Sicily. And isn't that funny? The word Zancle could be looked at as Z-lance. They always end up with sharp objects, don't they? So lance, a thrusting weapon with a long wooden shaft and a sharp metal head. Well, this is interesting. So the word lance in German is, or Germanic is spear. Old French is the servant. Isn't that interesting? So the Scythes were tyrants of, or rulers of servants. And this even gets more fun. So conspiracy theory. It's also Pyrotechnico rays. So I'm going to show you something here regarding the Pyrotechnico rays. So first, pyrotechnic, of or relating to fireworks, resembling fireworks, brilliant, of or pertaining to fireworks, the art of forming them. Any various similar devices as for igniting a rocket or producing an explosion. That looks like an explosion. This looks like an explosion. And what's funny is right over here, 9/11 conspiracy theories. So there's this company called Pyrotechnico without the H, and it is a professional fireworks company based in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So the company was founded in 1889 by Constantino Vitali. Doesn't that sound Italian? That's funny because that word scythe was a tyrant or ruler of Zancle, Z-lance in Sicily, and Sicily is in Italy. They currently operate nationwide with over 1,000 technicians throughout the U.S. with 6 primary offices located in Newcastle, Atlanta, that's Atlanta, Georgia, where UPS headquarters are, Las Vegas, Montgomery, New Orleans, and Tampa, Florida. And guess what? The Shriners International, formerly known as the Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, is an American Masonic society established in 1870. Pyrotechnico was established 1889, and they are established, or their headquarters are in Tampa. Tampa, Florida. Shriners International describes itself as a fraternity based on fun. I guess explosions are fun. Fellowship and the Masonic principles. And guess what? EIons, who they go by, the Ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. EIons, the anagram is Masons, or Mason. There's the anagram. But back to this company, Pyrotechnico. So here is one of their companies thing. They're talking about the Houston, Texas project because they worked on the Superbowl. Look at this. So interesting, huh? That big bull head, and then you've got the bullhead there. I guess you could, you know, say, hey, they're longhorns, but that's not a longhorn. That looks more satanic, doesn't it? And I should have read earlier that the symbol of this, the New World Order, the Bavarian Illuminati, are going to bring in the New World Order. When a real power move is to be made, it will be done suddenly. These men have unbelievable power, and they have spelled out their agenda in advance, and I'm sure they have. I mean, if you just look at this Baphomet too, same thing, but look at the breast being covered. I mean, it's almost predicting the transhuman or the transsexual movement. Yeah, so this is interesting because they took that Pyrotechnico company took on this job for the Super Bowl. So this says Massive Dragon 2 flame units burst 65-foot high while the Houston Texans charge into NRG field through a wall of cryo. That's cold. While the lustrous bowl aggressively breathes out plumes of cryo. So they've got the fire and then they got the freezing. So as above, so below. And they cannot help themselves. They have to do their rituals. And you see this, the little swipe around this round thing where it says Super Bowl. See the little swipes, the little swishes? See their little swish and the X and the satellite back there? And here they're going all over the world. It's like just, oh my goodness. So EIon here is definitely involved with Starlink. So this here just reads real quick. Elon Musk's Starlink satellite systems will provide internet in Mexico. I'm sure they're providing internet everywhere. So Elon Musk's company, Starlink Satellite Systems, obtained the rights to broadcast and receive signals for wireless satellite internet in Mexico from the Federal Institute of Telecommunications. Okay, sorry you guys, I just took a second break, so I might have really skipped here, but I'm going back to, here's the Super Bowl, and specifically Super Bowl 38. That's XXX5RV111. That's 38. It's one of the Super Bowls that this company participated in. They actually did the pyrotechnics, I guess. So here's this Pyrotechnico information on Wikipedia. It says they did the halftime Super Bowl show for Super Bowl 38 in Reliant Stadium in Houston, Texas. So they talk about here the Super Bowl 38 halftime show, main article. Remember, well, there's a couple of things I want to show you. Jessica Simpson's declared Houston should choose to party. So 14 months before 9/11, the NFL owners voted to award Super Bowl 38 to Houston during their November 1st, 2000 meeting held in Atlanta. This was the first Super Bowl to be played in a stadium with a retractable roof, probably because they have to see the moons and stars or whatever. But it was eventually, or the sun actually, but it was eventually closed during the game. It says it also marked the first time in 4 tries that the Patriots played a Super Bowl that was not in New Orleans. It says this game marked a 6-month stretch for Texas hosting the Super Bowl. Maybe because they get the horns there, they get their little symbolism. Easy explanation with the horns and the bowl, right? And also Super Bowl 38 was the first Super Bowl to be scheduled on the first Sunday of February. Every subsequent Super Bowl through Super Bowl, was that 55, would follow this format. Super Bowl, was that 36, had previously been held on the first Sunday of February as well, but that came as a result of the NFL pushing back the 2001 playoffs, and we know why. By a week as a result of the September 11 attacks. So here they're setting up for their ritual to be pulled off, just like Event 201. Remember the tabletop exercise by Johns Hopkins University that went off just 3 months before the whole China Wuhan thing? And I'm just looking at some of the names. I just find some of them interesting. You've got Bonnie Bernstein. We have Spirit of Houston and Ocean of Soul. And we've got the announcers, interesting names as Boomer and John Riggins. But this game was also known for the controversial halftime show. Remember that? The Super Bowl 38 halftime show, which was broadcast live on February 1st, 2004, when Timberlake exposed Janet's little, whatever they're called, her little nipple shield that she was adorning. Notable for a moment in which Janet Jackson's breast adorned with a nipple shield was exposed to the public. No shame on them. Look at her look how dare you, but look at her hands, look where they're placed. I'd like to know what year this Baphomet was made too, because that's the only one that kind of puts their hands on that chest. I wonder if that's why Peter King hailed it as the greatest Super Bowl of all times, because you got to see a little nipple shield. Oh my God, talk about overacting. So this wardrobe malfunction, isn't that funny, is a clothing failure that accidentally or intentionally exposes a person's intimate parts. It's different from deliberate incidents of indecent exposure or public flashing. Justin Timberlake used the term when apologizing for the Super Bowl 38 halftime show, which the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, did an immediate crackdown. I wonder why they had to have that wardrobe malfunction. Now we know wardrobe malfunction is 214, and that's conspiracy theory or Super Bowl winner. 214. I know this is a stretch, but I thought it was weird when I looked at this article. There was a lot of 4 1s, 1 4s. I just thought that was kind of interesting. So the 1s and 4s is 114 is CGI and DNA, and CGI is 19, 114, and 19. One more anagram for conspiracy theory is carry sick honeypot. Most of us are probably familiar with him, but isn't that weird how they spell the honey Hunny? So that's a honeypot. Thanks, Pooh. Freaking Disney. Who knows what he's really eating? And why isn't Pooh ever wearing pants? But anyhow, so honeypot, 898 and 133 are the numbers we're going to look at. So honeypot, it's not in their database, but I put it in there. I found this, I created this, Corona hides electromagnetic grid. It's the same 898 as honeypot. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but honeypot also, 898, is also vision, project, and sterilizer. And the 133 is also simulation. Anyhow, I gotta show you what I'm really wanting to show you. One more grouping. So honeypot at 133 is solve the code. These are all 133s. So solve the code, Ray the light, Ray the Bible God, Ray Kosika info. I keep coming across that name. Prophecy code, rigged election, government, White House, twin soul. And regarding rigged election, so just looking at Super Bowl 38, the number 38 is Bible, Alice, Eagle, Blake, and Blake was K. Abel, but it was also 1131. And this picture here, when they show the American football, is 1131. But here, American football, the anagram is of ballot, also referred to simply as football in the United States and Canada, and also known as gridiron. So when we look at the wardrobe malfunction and conspiracy theory and Super Bowl winner, and the anagram for conspiracy theory could be carry sick honeypot, and you look at the word honeypot and it's Corona hides electromagnetic grid. See, that's 898 and 898 for honeypot. Is it interesting that the football also known as gridiron? But 38, as in Super Bowl 38, is also Kiki, K-I-K-I, and I thought that was interesting because it's 38 and 40 down below there. When you look at the 40, K-I and K-I, Kiki, is 11-9 and 11-9. So you can flip that upside down and around. So I wonder if this is why this Super Bowl was so special, because it had some relevance when you look at the numerology, 38, which also is 11. So the anagrams of conspiracy theory can also be Pyrotechnico rays and psychotronic E-ray and psychotronics. It's a Czech term for research and development in parapsychology. Psychotronic harassment, aka electronic harassment. Psychotronic video, a magazine about occult film genres such as horror, exploitation, action, and science fiction. Yeah, science, seance. The anagram can also be Pyrotechnico, C0RY, or Raish, in Raish, and God's God is also Apollo. And Apollo, there's 201. I think that's weird. Event 201, you remember the tabletop exercise, and you got Apollo, and they're all 71. And the word temple is also 71. So temple and Apollo are both 71. I'm going to see if I can get you guys to hear this. I think most of you must have heard this already, but remember Bush on the day of 9/11, how he was at the school reading to the kids the pet goat. Oh yeah, one more thing about this Pyrotechnico C0RY, that anagram for conspiracy theorist, the C0RY. Isn't this funny? There's a wine, it says, it's called, this is not an exit, C0RY, and it's only $594.99. I wonder what $5.94 is, but this is not an exit. Interesting numerology I'm finding here. Sign QAnon, sign QAnon. Sign QAnon, this is not an exit. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to go look to see what 594 is. So the word terrorist in the final day is 594. Horrible child sacrifices is 594. It's interesting because Ray anagram is the 99 number for this simple gematria. And the event in Patriot. Oh, one more thing I didn't mention is the Hunnypot, security Hunnypot, scanning attack. It's all about, consists of data and collecting, supposedly protecting, but you got the internet. There's your wall. Build the wall. And it's A star services. Anyhow, let's go here. Scanning attack, scan attack logged, ATAR services, so it's all about keeping you safe. The internet network. So this says, generally a honeypot consists of data. Yep, ta-da, data. And one quick thing I have to tell you about the Shriners. So these two men, Walter Fleming and William Florence, they established a separate fellowship. Now he was an actor. You can look them up on Wikipedia under Shriners. So he talks about this guy Florence. It says the entertainment was something in the nature of the elaborately staged musical comedy. At its conclusion, the guests became members of a secret society. Fleming created the ritual, emblem, and costumes. Florence and Fleming were initiated August 13, that's 813, in 1870, and they initiated 11 other men on June 16. So you got your 11, and there's June, so that's 616. So 616 is ritual sacrifice, raised DNA, and JFK. So remember this symbol for thelema. So there's thelema, redirected from 93 thelema, and that's under their book of law, do what thou wilt. So here's the book of the law. That's Crowley's, his own handwriting, and it was written on a grid format. Mysterious Grid by Aleister Crowley. And remember the honeypot, Corona hides electromagnetic grid. So here it is. The number 93 is of great significance in thelema. So here's how they're explaining how he got to 93. And notice the agape or agape. They have the numerology right there. So it's 93. Agape. They say it means love. And you know the satanic people say you have to kill the ones you love. And isn't it interesting? They both have the same number of 30 in gematria. And children in thelema also have the same numerology, as does American. So what's interesting about this? I pet goat. I'm going to have you listen to this. Now listen to this teacher when Bush was in the classroom. Most of you probably already know this. She's having these kids literally chant. This is part of the ritual. She's having them slither their S's first, and then she has them chant through these words. And I'm going to have you listen to this. Hang on a sec.
Listen, girls, sound this word out. Get ready.
Steal.
What word?
Steal.
Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready.
Play.
Yes, play. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready.
Kick.
Yes, kick, Sammy. 60 on page 150.
So as Bush was reading the pet goat, one of the words was, or phrases, she played with her goat in her yard. And that ends up being in gematria. Bible code gene created the gene that makes all, and it's 911. Then the words she has them read out, and not in this order, it's the order I put them in. Kite, plane, must hit still. You know what the anagram is? So kite, plane, must hit still. The anagram is I Musk, test the elite plan. Musk, as in Elon Musk. 33 is gematria. It's also Son, I am Christ, Solomon, Musk, name of beast. So just to wrap things up, Musk and thelema or thelema and test. We've got children, thelema, American, panic in DC. They're all related to Musk. And here's Elon Musk is related to the COVID vaccine. And so is on the top Rockefeller 911. You think these sacrifices are by mistake? Remember those two Shriners I was telling you about, Florence and Fleming? They were initiated on August 13th. That's 813. Mountain Spirit, It's Calm Before the Storm, President Trump, Statue of Liberty, and Murder by Numbers. All 198. All right, you guys.